So the other day I made a somewhat controversial video. I mean, it still has a 90% like to dislike ratio, but there were a lot of negative comments that I feel the need to respond to. Some of the points you guys made were actually really good. I made some mistakes in the video and I want to own up to them. Some of the points that were made though felt unfair or wrong, and I want to be able to defend myself. The comments I received can roughly be split into 3 categories. The comments with genuine constructive criticism, the comments where someone accuses me of something and then doesn't elaborate, and the comments that are just straight up hate comments. Before we start the video, I just want to do a quick test for you guys. When you see a video that you disagree with, should you A, ask a clarifying question to understand what the other person means, B, write a respectful response explaining why you disagree with the points made, C, rewatch part of the video to see if you were just missing some context, or D, write a sentence long complaint and refuse to elaborate? If you answered D, well, you're like a quarter of the comments on my last video, I guess. Let's start with the good comments. The comments that actually cared. These people found something that they disagreed with or strongly disagreed with, explained what that thing was, and explained why they disagreed with it. I'm gonna start by looking at the ones I agree with, the things I did wrong in the video. So the first one is that this person doesn't like the thumbnail and thinks it's disrespectful. They're right. I agree now. I made the thumbnail in a rush and I was apathetic towards it. It is kind of disrespectful. I just generally don't like this thumbnail for a few reasons, but that's not what matters. What matters is that this was the wrong move. You're right. That's totally on me. The next comment says that I contradicted myself by saying GD is a place of expressing yourself, yet I'm still hating on levels for not meeting the standards of a rated level. This is an interesting one. I've had to think about it for a while. I think that what I mean is that there are levels that I like and I think are artistically good expressions of the creator that still aren't rate worthy. So Hexagon 7 is a friend of mine, and he makes a bunch of levels that I really like, but I don't think are worthy of rates. I mean, hell, my 2 hardest demons I find both incredibly fun and artistically interesting, but I don't think anyone can make a case for them getting rated, even though I watched firsthand the genuine creativity that went into them. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I think that GD being a place of self-expression doesn't mean that rated levels are necessarily just a place for self-expression. It's for genuinely high quality, high effort levels. I think that there is a bit of a difference there. The next person thinks I didn't give a fair shot to map, and there's actually a reason for that. I didn't want the video to just be me bashing on a level for the entire time. Was I overreacting at this part of the level? Yeah. I was using that imagery to basically convey why I think this level didn't have much polishing to it. To me, the symbol stands out a lot. If it doesn't stand out to you, I get that. I'm absolutely sure that the creator wasn't actually supporting this. It was definitely a complete accident, which in my book still conveys a level of apathy towards the creator's own level. So yeah, I get that some people like this level. That's great. I was probably too harsh on it, but as I said earlier, I still don't think there's a way to spin it in which this level deserves a rate. These people said it's fine if levels like this get rated, and yeah, absolutely, as long as the system is consistent, which it isn't. Or at least as long as it's transparent. The whole point of the video is that I want mods to give feedback more after all. The next comment says that this system is just sort of natural, that popular creators will get more rates because they already put in the work beforehand. I disagree with this because it leaves us with more mediocre levels on the servers. You're right in the fact that this is the natural way things will progress, but that doesn't mean we can't push against it. Even just being more aware of the problem helps the problem slow down. Now, the next comment sort of builds off that, but in my opinion, there's a very important reason why some levels shouldn't be rated. As a player, I don't want to spend more time than necessary playing mediocre levels. Just because, as this person puts it, I'm not forced to play every level doesn't mean I can just magically find which levels will be good or not. Now, of course, there is a lot of subjectivity in this system, so, Rob, just add different metrics that levels can be based on. Like, why don't we have this? This person says mods don't decide what gets rated, and this isn't true. Mods absolutely control what gets rated. I think what you're trying to say is that RobTop is responsible for every rated level, and thus any blame towards the crap that's been rated can go to him. Yeah, I get that. I still think that moderators are somewhat responsible, though as I said briefly in the video, some moderators have made an effort to make the system better, and that's something I can really appreciate. The next comment says that being a moderator is volunteer work and that you can't hold them to a very high standard. I strongly disagree with this. For starters, I don't make money off YouTube, but I still make videos relatively frequently. And like, YouTube isn't exactly a viable career option for most YouTubers, even if my channel does take off. I do it because I like it, and I put a lot of work into it. Why can't we expect the same of moderators? All I'm asking for is like 1 or 2 reasons why a level could be better. A lot of moderators already do that, and it just shows that they care. The main reason I think it's okay to hold mods to high standards is because there's so many candidates for moderator status. It's the same reason a prestigious college can reject so many students. There's so many students who apply. Increasing the transparency in the system would instantly make the problem go away. I'm serious. Well, that and letting elder moderators rate levels directly, since there's way too many levels for Rob to reasonably do on his own. This comment says that I can't tell just by looking at a level whether it has effort put into it. I disagree. I think that stuff like this is proof that the level didn't have that much effort put into it. If you like the level, that's fine, but you can't really explain stuff like this in any way but lack of effort. Well, we've made it through the good stuff. Thank you to all the commenters who left those comments. They were respectful and understandable and helped me to look back at this issue in a different way. Some of the things you've said I've even changed my mind on. The next set of comments we're going to look at, well, let's just say they aren't as well put together. These comments have a few different categories. You have the comments that accuse me of being jealous, and I guess implying that that's a problem somehow, and the comments that just call me out for being mean. Before that, we're going to start with the nicer one that isn't just insults being flung. This person thinks that levels should be rated by effort instead of quality necessarily. I disagree with this, mostly because it's really difficult to know what levels had a lot of effort put into them. I know I said earlier that you can sort of get a sense of what levels didn't have effort put into them, but there's a lot of levels that have a lot more effort put into them than they look. In theory, it would be nice, but it's not really achievable. Besides, sometimes low effort levels can be pretty good, at least when they have some care put into them. Oh boy. So I'm just gonna lump all of these comments together. A bunch of people here accuse me of being jealous. The comments range from people disliking my decision to people just completely hating on me or threatening me due to my jealousy. I spent some time to think about this, and I think that this might be one of the most nonsensical things you could possibly say here. So I'm going to explain what's wrong with these comments, then I'm going to do it again with a different reason, and again with a different reason. Because that's how messed up I think these comments are. I think this was incredibly disrespectful of these people. First, I did not make this video in response to my level not getting rated. If you did 10 seconds of research about this, you would know that my level was released in September. Notice how I didn't make a video complaining about the mod system in September. Notice how I didn't make a video complaining about the mod system in October. Notice how I didn't make a video complaining about the mod system until the end of November. That is months after the level released. Notice how I never even say the name of my level in the video. Notice how the level I show when explaining why I want these levels to be rated is not my own level. Notice how the entire point of the video is me wanting feedback to be more available, not for my level to get rated. I want to know what I did wrong on my level so that my next level can get rated. Notice how I didn't ask for my level to get rated even a single time. The most that I said was that I was annoyed that a different level got rated while my own didn't, which is a comparison statement, not me asking for something, and that moderators haven't given me a reason why. I never claimed my level was rateworthy, just that it clearly had more effort put into it than math. Secondly, I counted how long I talked about my own level. It was 11 seconds. That's a bit under 5% of the video. So I'm sorry that I made this video for the sole purpose to bring attention to my level. What do you think I did in the other 95% of the video? And lastly, even if you do see this as me just being jealous and that's the reason why I made this video, why does that discredit what I have to say? Why is me being personally affected by the problem the reason why my opinion doesn't matter? Let's take a moment to think of the most extreme example of this. A victim of a crime is ignored in the trial since they were directly involved and thus must be biased. Wouldn't that be pretty stupid if that were to happen? And to the people who didn't like how disrespectful I was about this level, how are you going to defend, say, Colin's video where he tore down Generation Retro, or EVW's video where he complained about the worst map pack levels, or the videos on why Avernus is bad, or, you know, all of the other videos talking about levels people don't like? What you need to understand is that this is art criticism, and art criticism is fine. You guys did it to me, criticizing my video for what you disagreed with. When you actually put your thoughts together in a cohesive message and actually explained yourself, I respected that, because that's art criticism, and art criticism is fine. The problem is the people who just complain, or don't explain themselves thoroughly. Now, you might think that those comments were bad, and I agree, a lot of these posts were overly aggressive or were dishonest about the video, but that's nothing compared to the absolutely hilarious hate comments. Just to be clear, the section above was not hate comments. They were unprofessional and often rude, but they weren't hate comments. This is a hate comment, and I want to read all of them, just for fun. Grow up! Don't push me, bub! Damn, bro, you've just convinced me to totally rethink my way of thinking. You completely missed the point. Are you gonna finish that thought? Or I missed what point? Are you gonna tell me? You're just mad, no? For real! It shows that you aren't very mature of a person in the sense that you have to talk down onto others' work to validify? That's not a word. And yes, I'm expressing my dislike of a level because it makes me feel better? You're saying that I'm talking about something I don't like to feel better? What? Huh? Oh no! Leave got rated. Yes, I'm very sad that Leave got rated. This has ruined my day. You know, it's not too late to delete this. But are you acting like a bit of hate comments is a reason to hide something that I spent hours and hours working on? A video I'm seriously passionate about? I just stopped to read the text here, and this is peak comedy. Not even Peruvian comedy shows can make me laugh more than these 3 lines of text. I'm glad you had a good laugh. I've never considered myself very funny, and it does make me feel better to know that some people really like my work. Thanks. My level doesn't get rated while this other one does. Wah wah. Nope, this video's not about my level. That was a minor talking point at the beginning. You've just shown that you don't care about art, and even if not intentional, you've just made this to bring attention to your level, which is likely to never get rated after this. Okay, I never asked for my level to get rated in the video. I don't see why you think I would care what a faulty system thinks of my level. I don't get the point of videos like this. What even is the purpose? Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. The purpose is to make a change. The purpose is to get people thinking. I think I got a lot of people thinking. Because regardless of whether you think the rating system is bad or fine, everyone knows it could use improvement. That's what I'm trying to get at. How can we improve the system? I actually was planning to make another video illustrating how I would rework the rating system. I might make that video, but honestly, I'm pretty fatigued with this topic. You guys let me know if you want that. GD players after realizing more people see levels made by popular people. Yeah, and that's fine and all. I just wish we actually made an effort to mitigate that. I know we can, but a lot of the community sticks their heads in the sand. I have a belief that anyone can make the world better, but they have to recognize a problem first. I won't settle for a mediocre system like what we have now, but I really don't have the power to change it. I talked about this in the second half of the video, which none of you actually watched. Yeah, I messed a few things up in my video. It's a sensitive topic, and I knew I was gonna ruffle a few feathers when I made it, but the amount of backlash I got tells me one thing. People like me need to speak louder if we want to be heard. So if you agree with me or you have your own perspective, I highly recommend that you make your own video on this topic or something like that. I think it's about time that we recognize this problem after we have had our heads stuck in the sand for so many years, because it is a problem and it makes people feel worse. I want to reiterate that. The current rating system makes people feel worse. No matter how superficial the problems are, no matter how pointless it is to get the one digital currency point and get your level rated, it makes people feel worse. And I don't think that we should just dismiss that. If you feel like there was something I didn't address here or that I didn't handle well, you can let me know. The reason I'm mocking the hate comments I got is because if you're going to go out of your way to try to make me feel worse without having some deeper message like a lot of these people did, you're not worthy of my respect. What I did to Map wasn't me trying to make the creator feel worse. It was me taking a near irrefutable path towards communicating the problem with the rating system. Some people said I cherry-picked Map, and that's somewhat true. These levels aren't that common, but they do pop up every once in a while. I'd say about 2 levels a month are rated that really make me question the system a bit. Not necessarily objectively bad levels, but rather levels that feel outdone by unrated levels. And to top it all off, we're completely in the dark as a community about what makes a level rate worthy. Something about me, I'm autistic. When I try to get a point across, I do it in a way that would convince me. Unfortunately, the doctors tell me that my brain thinks a bit differently to you people. Sometimes I say stuff that sounds a bit weird, not to me, but to my audience. If that happens, you can always just ask for clarification rather than berating me. The biggest problem with the video I made, though, was the fact that it was a 4-minute long video that deserved to be 15. So, that's what this video is for. Oh, and thank you so much for all of the support that I got on the last video. Like, I got a lot of criticism, but there was also a lot of support. I shot past my goal of 800 subscribers by the end of the year. And you know, if you guys were to bring me up to 1,000, I wouldn't be complaining, that's for sure.